this is the way we would start the oil paintings, because you could always change them. I mean, if you paint over the top of them, right? You can keep changing and correcting. Well, I thought, why can't we do that in watercolor paint? Why can't we paint as loosely like that? And I found out in time that you can. We can be as loose as like the oil painters get to be in their paintings. You know, you can do anything here because that's going to be a mid-tone, right? So you don't have to be careful. But I do have to be careful about my lights. Make my lights, make sure that I don't lose my lights. Your lights are your ace, okay? I think some of you guys lost your lights yesterday.
Yeah.
I always want to cover up the white.
Yeah,
I can't see
yeah. The problem, I mean, you know, you can, but you just have to be a little bit careful because if you cover up the white of the paper, when you cover it up with color, you're dropping the value down.
Right.
And if you lose your lights, you've lost your painting. Now, and if you're painting from life, learn to squint. And if you squint down, you will see that white of the building is actually a darker value than the sky. Okay, now I have to be really careful. I'm going to lose my lights because that's part of my light. This is part of my light pattern here, and I'm toning it already because I want it a little bit darker in the sky. So, you know, maybe what we could have done here is just leave that the white of the paper and come back later and tone it down slightly because it is darker than the sky. But since I've done it, let's just go with that. Okay, so this is going to be my midtone. We've already established that. These are midtones in here. I got to get a bigger brush. Use the biggest brush possible for as long as possible. I'm going to get my number 8 here. Okay. All right, so remember, this is my midtone, this is my light, so I've got to make that darker to make that look like a light. I've got some sort of green there. Nothing wrong with throwing a little bit of red in there too. Okay. I hope you can see how much I am rinsing off my brush. Most of the paint goes in don't try to conserve on your paint. Most of the paint goes into this little water container here. All right, here we go. I'm dropping the value down just a little bit more because I want this to look like my lights. Okay, so here's an example of a neutral wash, but neutral washes can be beautiful in color. All right, let's go around here.
Why are you calling it a neutral wash?
Well, it's a grade wash would be another term for it.
Okay.
All right. It's a neutral color. In other words, it's not a primary red, yellow, or blue. It's got all three of them in here, especially like down in this corner. All right, so let's go over here to our, you know what, I did not squeeze out enough yellow, so now I got to take the time to do that. All right, maybe I'll switch now over. Well, let's go over here.
Which yellow is